and welcome to my channel. So I have to be honest, I've been hesitating on doing videos about this new season of Love is Blind, season 5. I know I've done videos on previous seasons before and also the Brazilian version, but this particular season, I don't know, it's been such a downer. I was going to say it's been a snooze fest and a pretty boring season, but I was thinking, no, we did have some drama, but there were no special bonds and no people on the show. There was no one in the show that I connected or it made me feel like I want to keep following their story. It's been a very motivating season, but a lot of people dodge bullets, especially the women. So let's talk about some of the couples. Aaliyah and Uche. Aaliyah, girl, why are you even meeting up with this guy? He's so toxic. You should be like, walk away, done with him, done with the show. But she still decided to meet up with him and tell him that I will marry you. My heart, it's yours. I will still be with you. And I was like, girl, run. I think the only reason he decided to meet up with Aaliyah at that restaurant is because he didn't want to be the one that got dumped on. She walked out on him. He wanted to be the one that dumped her. So I think that's why he met up with her. And also after Aaliyah told him, you know, remember when they're in the pods and she told him that she cheated on someone before, I was just like, when you show your vulnerability to a narcissist, it's like handing them the gun to shoot you later. And I think that's what Aaliyah did. She was vulnerable with Uche and he used that as a weapon against her. I do understand the need for closure though, so maybe that's why she wanted to meet up with him, to get closure. And I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about Uche, but the last thing I would talk about him is that he replied, because I usually go to do like research and stuff, I go on the cast members Instagrams. There's some cast members that they turn off their comments, and then there's some people that, good for them, they leave the comments open, and then there's some people that reply to the comments and people that block the comments. But Uche is one of those that he replies to comments, and he replied to a comment saying that he didn't apply for the show, he got recruited. And he said that most participants on the show got recruited by producers. And I knew that from one of the cast members from a Brazilian version. I can't remember what season, but she said that they came to her, they DM her. They looked at her social media and DM her asking her to be on the show. So that basically shows you how producers really work hard to set up this whole plan for all the drama that's going on. I said it before that I think that the whole Lydia knowing Uche and they dated in the past thing, it wasn't written on the stars. It wasn't fate. Producers knew that they knew each other and cast both of them and maybe asked them to wipe off whatever they had on each other on their socials, and they cast them for a reason, to cause the drama. Another bullet dodge was by Taylor. Taylor and JP. Thank goodness that girl ran and didn't go through, because she could have like kept going, you know, okay, let's go and live together. Let's go back to Houston and go to an apartment and see how things go. Let's wait until I walk down the aisle. So good for her that like she cut the evil from its root. I don't want to judge someone by the way they kiss, but can we all agree that the way JP kisses, it's so awkward? It's like there wasn't even one time where he kissed her passionately, you know, like, you know, that kiss. I couldn't understand what was up with those pecks. I knew right then and there when they were like at the review, he was like, and it's like that little pack in the mouth. And even in Mexico, I was like, oh, I don't think they're feeling each other. JP and Taylor's time in Mexico was just as awkward as Irina and Zach's time in Mexico. It was tough to watch. When they got back from their like date, where they went like on the dirt road bike riding or whatever, and she's like, how are you feeling? And he's like, sweaty. I fell for her. and she's a kindergarten teacher. Poor Taylor, she was like, it's easier to talk to my 5-year-olds than to talk to you, JP. So let's address the most confusing slash interesting moment between JP and Taylor. He said that she wore too much makeup on the review when they first met, and that was a turnoff for him, and it's basically causing the whole awkwardness between them. Even though the whole time in Mexico, she's wearing no makeup. She's like fresh-faced. And he even complained that she got makeup all over his suit. So Taylor said that she's not going to stop wearing any makeup, that all women do. And then JP, his comeback, it's that he's like, I wish you presented yourself like this. And I was like, really? On a TV show in front of all these cameras, do you think, you know, all the women in that show are gonna show up with like zero makeup on? And then the gaslighting begins. He said that 99% of women would love to hear that from a man, that he prefers her without any makeup on. No, we don't dress up and put makeup on and get all dolled up for you guys. We do it for ourselves. And some women actually do that for other women. There's a lot of women out there that they do get all dressed up to compete with other women. So it's almost like a competition thing. We do it because it makes us feel good. It makes us feel pretty. It helps us with our confidence. And in my humble opinion, Taylor does look better without makeup on. I loved her fresh face. I loved her when she was like in PJs and nothing on. She looks so angelic and actually younger without any makeup on. She's a true natural beauty. If she loves putting makeup on, more power to her. Good for her. The whole basis of feminism is women having a choice. Women doing whatever they want to do. Do you want to wear makeup? Go for it. Do you want to go with nothing on, fresh face? Go for it. Do you want to wear jeans and a plaid shirt? Beautiful. Do you want to wear a fancy dress and heels on? Go for it. We have the choice to do whatever we want, as long as we're not hurting anyone or hurting ourselves. And what bothered me is that the whole time she was in Mexico, once again, she didn't wear any makeup. She only wore makeup for the review. Remember, was it Cole and Zenab? I can't like remember her name or pronounce it right, but it was with Cole. And she was a very high maintenance girl. She used to like wake up and put the fake eyelashes. I remember her going to bed with makeup on. My theory is that JP felt like Taylor was out of his league and he wanted to tone her down. This happens a lot with manipulative men when they tell their girlfriends to dress down, to not wear heels, to not wear nail polish. The more beautiful they look, the more the man thinks he's punching above his weight. If you don't know me or my videos, I always like to like insert a little personal story when I'm talking about, you know, shows or a movie or subject. I love a good red lipstick. Always loved red lipstick. It's the color that works for me because I'm so pale, it just brings out my skin. If I wear a nude color or dark color, it kind of like washes me out. And I dated this guy that he did not like the red lipstick look. He thought, I can't remember the word he said or the commentary, but it was almost like, oh, red, it's basically for prostitutes. And it was his preference. It's fine. It's totally fine that men and women have preferences. But for me, I was just like, okay, so you going to throw it all away, like all the good times that we have, the great sex, the cuddling, the things that we have in common, my personality, because I like to wear red lipstick. So what I did, I kept going on the red lipstick, kept wearing until he got used to it. So basically like my personality persevered and the good times that we had together over the red lipstick look. What you're not gonna tell me is what I put and I do not put on my body. But anyway, JP and Taylor, they break up in Mexico right before they have to catch their plane back home. JP didn't even put up a fight. He just sat there and listened, and good for you, Taylor, for not changing for some dude. And to give JP the benefit of the doubt, because he did look very awkward and didn't have a lot of conversations with Taylor. And he even said like, oh, I wish there was a wall between us. I think that a lot of people go in those reality TV shows and they don't know what's going to be like. Like the Kardashians, they're geniuses at it. They know how to work the cameras. They are used to, they've been doing this for decades. They're used to have cameras around them. These people that go on Love is Blind, they're normal folks. And then they go on the show and there's a camera right here while you're talking and then the camera right here when you're trying to talk to someone. Because I could tell by JP's eyes when he was having a conversation with Taylor and he looked down and he looked to the side. It was almost like he looked into the camera, and you're not supposed to because you have to pretend the cameras are not there. But you could tell like by his body language, like how awkward he was when the camera was on him. So no wonder he felt more comfortable in the pods because, you know, I think the cameras in the pods are kind of hidden. Here's my question about this whole, oh, I don't like you wearing makeup and, you know, you need to change for me. What if the roles were reversed? What if it was the woman telling the guy to change something about him or his appearance? Because if it was me, now that I'm thinking, if he said to me that, oh, I don't want you to put makeup on, I don't want you to wear the red lipstick or whatever, I would look at him and say, okay, then I don't want you to wear anything with the American flag on it, because that's basically all he wears. His socks, his underwear, his board shorts, his shirts, his handkerchief, it's all with the American flag. Love that he loves the American flag. Yes, proud to be an American. Woohoo, go JP. But at one point, it's just like, is that all you have in your wardrobe? So if I was Taylor, I would have thrown that at him and said like, okay, I'll stop putting makeup on if you stop wearing the American flag. Now what? Last thing about the whole makeup thing. I hate putting makeup on. I don't like it. I'm not good at it. I might have mentioned this in a different video, but I just don't like stuff on my face. And once again, the cakey feeling, I just don't have the patience or the money to spend on makeup. And then you gotta get the products to take the makeup off and the wipes and all of that. But whenever I see a woman with their makeup done, when it's not too clownish, because we've all seen women that put so much makeup that is like, oh, did you come out of the circuits? What is going on? But women that do it so well, it's an art form. Sometimes I watch like Get Ready With Me videos and I was like, I'm in awe. It's like, how did you do that? You went from here to here. How did that happen? If somebody like took the time and patience to teach me how to put makeup on, maybe I would do it. The only time I put makeup on is to do these videos. But if you see me, or go on a date night, but if you see me like walking a dog or going to the store or any place else, you'd be like, oh my gosh. But yeah, that's why I like a red lipstick so much, because with the red lip, I don't have to do anything else with the face. But anyway, let's move on to Lydia and Milton. I don't think they're going to last. I just, and it's not about the age gap. It's not about that. I just don't see their personalities matching. Like how pushy she was in Mexico for him to wear a matching bathing suit to hers. She was like so pushy. She's like, no, you're gonna wear this, please, por favor, por favor, por favor, wear this. And at one point I was like, you know, like, is he going to cave in and just say, okay, I'll wear it? But I was so proud of him that he put his foot down and said, no, I'm not going to wear the black one. I'm going to wear the gray one with my pink shirt. And I think that like different personalities, because he's so chill and she's so fiery, it's going to clash. Izzy and Stacy. Their whole plot line was about money, which is a very important conversation to have with your partner before heading down the aisle. The problem is that Stacy lives a life of luxury and she loves to travel, and not just travel and stay at Airbnbs and hostels. No. She likes to travel first class, stay at 5-star hotels, fine dining, white tablecloths. She's a homeowner, and with that, being a homeowner, comes a lot of maintenance, and that also costs a lot of money. Izzy, on the other hand, has bad credit. We know that from Joni. He also just switched jobs. He worked for about 6 years in sales and then switched to insurance right before he had to leave for the show. So he basically just had a few days at a new job. She did give us a backstory on why money is so important to her and why it was important to have that conversation. was because she said that, you know, me and my family, we did not come from money. But then I was confused because she said that her grandfather had his house for foreclosure, and then her and her dad inherit a lot of money. I'm gonna cue a video so you can understand this a little bit better.
My family, where they're at now is not where they came from. Like, my grandpa had their house foreclosed on. Like, he worked his ass off to get them food. And I've seen so many people take advantage of me or my dad because they know that there is money. And I want someone to treat me as if I have nothing. Because I don't like the feeling of, oh, well, I can sit back and relax and enjoy the ride because I know that her dad's going to pay for everything.
Even though she's loaded and her dad is loaded, but she wants someone to treat her like she's got nothing, because in the past she had people that took advantage of the fact that, you know, she's got money and her dad's got money. I understood that. I also understand when someone says that, look, I have all this money because I worked my butt off to get this money. I had 3 jobs. I had to commute to the 3 jobs. I have to catch 2 buses. Like, I work, like, my blood, sweat, and tears are into my savings account. And then this person comes along and then they're like, oh, you have all this money saved. Oh, let's share it. It's like, no, 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 no. Now I understand why so many, you know, celebrity couples, they have on their prenup, they have like all the money I made on my business endeavors and movies and shows, whatever, before I met you, it's all mine. And then if we do get a divorce, all the money that I made after we were married, then we're going to split, because you were there to help with the kids, to do pickups and drop-offs while I was, you know, away shooting a movie. Or the same thing I did for you. I stay home with the kids. I helped out while you were there doing the work. And then Izzy goes to meet her family, Stacy's family. It's the dad, the mom, and the 3 sisters, 2 sisters actually. And that whole meeting felt very classist to me. I don't know if it was unintentionally or intentionally, but it just felt like they were rubbing their wealth on Izzy's face. Even the fact that he had just got a passport and he has never been to New York or California or out of the country. And they were talking about their trips to France, that they needed like 1 big luggage just for their shoes. And they spent 2 weeks in the French Riviera. And it didn't help when the dad gave his interview, you know, they do the 101 interviews. He was like sitting on top of a convertible and talking about how Stacy loves flying first class. And I was like, really? You had to give that interview sitting on a fancy car? It really worries me that Izzy won't be able to upkeep Stacy's lifestyle. Didn't her dad said something like, oh, love is great, but love doesn't buy a first class ticket? Another point of discussion between Izzy and Stacy was that when she went to his place for the first time and he was showing her around, he had a lost and found drawer, which was with, you know, his hookups or one night stands or ladies, whatever, forget around your place. I think the fight that they had, it was unnecessary. I would not have been mad about it. I wouldn't. Just because he has those like lost earrings and rings around, it doesn't mean anything. I used to work at a hotel when we have, and I don't know if that's by law, but we had a 90-day policy on lost and found that we had to keep. Whatever we found in the rooms or around the hotel, we had to keep for 90 days. If nobody called, emailed, or claimed it, then we could donate, give it to the housekeepers or sell it or whatever. If somebody left something at my place, I would either like shoot a text message like, hey, do you need this? Or hey, is this like has sentimental value? Because I don't know if a girl left like an earring and the grandma gave it to her, or it was a sentimental, you know, necklace that her mom gave it to her on her deathbed. You know, you want to be able to return it to the person in case they call. Now, if the girl called and said, hey, can we meet up for coffee? You know, and then you can bring the earring that I left at your place, then he could say, it's like, you know what, like, I don't think we should meet up for coffee, but I can put in an envelope in a little bag and drop it at your mailbox. Another personal story. I hooked up with this guy and I had flip-flops because I was wearing like this high heels and they weren't like that comfortable. They're really cute, but not comfortable. So I had flip-flops on my purse. So when I was leaving in the morning, I switched the flip-flops, but left the heels at his place. I knew, and I'm sure he knew, that we were never going to see each other again. We didn't connect that much, but I really wanted my heels back. I was not leaving my shoes behind. He texted me a picture of the shoes and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, but thank you so much. And I didn't want to see him. So I just told him, I was like, look, there's a front desk in my apartment. Can you just leave it with the front desk and, you know, with a piece of paper with my name on it? I didn't even give him my apartment number. I just gave him my name and it's like, just drop it off at the front desk. He's like, for sure. You know, I'll be in the neighborhood this day, blah, blah. And he dropped it off. We never had to see each other again. So it can be done. He knew she was coming over. You know, they have a chance to clean their place out before they leave for the show. And to avoid this fight, he should have like tossed it out. Another argument that they had in their apartment, Izzy and Stacy, was that he only had paper plates and red cups, red plastic cups. Once again, I would not be bothered. You know what I was very bothered by it and I thought was criminal was that he had his shoes on the bed. I was like, Izzy, not the shoes on the bed. He said, so what if I cooked a girl a really nice dinner and had some wine and served in the paper plates? Would you be upset? And she's like, I would judge the fuck out of you. And I was like, oh, excuse me. Excuse me for the cursing. You know what I would have said when he said that, oh, if I cooked you a really nice dinner and I served on paper plates, would you be upset about it? And I would be like, it depends how good the D is. Because if the dick is really good, then I'll let the paper plates pass. And Izzy's apartment, for being like a bachelor, looked really nice and clean and organized and minimalist. I don't care if you have just a TV, the bed, and a couch. I don't care, as long as it's clean. And remember Cole, too, from, I can't remember his season on Love is Blind? His toilet with the bugs coming out of the toilet. Oh, if I go in your toilet and it has either the pink ring around the toilet or the black stuff in the toilet, no, run. A last honorable mention that happened this last 3 episodes was that the Pod Squad, they met up for a get-together barbecue, and Lydia and Uche, they have a one-on-one talk. The whole thing about her being a stalker, as he called her, an Instagram stalker, he called her a stalker because she was watching stories from people that he followed or they followed him, like mutual followers, whatever. And then they asked him, was like, oh, look, this girl is like watching my stories. Dude, like stories, if you have a public profile on Instagram, are for the public. Anyone can see them. My friend Stephanie, she's out at a concert, like a rock concert, and her friend John tags her in a video, and then she reposted, and I was like, oh cool, she's at a rock concert, let me check this band out. I click on it and it takes me to John's story, and then when I see that John has a bunch of videos of this band and this concert that I want to see what this band is about, I keep watching the story. Even though me and John have never met, doesn't mean I'm stalking John. Another thing with the car, that she was driving by his neighborhood, saw his car, took a picture and texted him. And this was, I think, when they were still like, you know, getting together on and off. She's like, I see you. And he's like, yeah, she was stalking me. That's not stalking. Sometimes you're at a friend's neighborhood and you take a picture of something or their building. It's like, hey, I'm in your hood. I dated this guy, but we kind of like broke up because I was doing a lot of traveling. But whenever I came back to San Diego, I stayed at this hotel because I was still like, you know, moving around. And so when I was at this hotel, I saw his car was parked in front of the hotel because he wasn't stalking me. He worked around like in the area. So because we were on and off, and every time I come back to San Diego, we would get together, I took a picture of his car and just say, like, you know, being flirty, I said, ooh, how convenient, wink, wink. And then he came over and we had a great night. So Uche is the type of guy that just wants to be above everyone else. Same thing as he did with Aaliyah, he did with Lydia, and I'm so over him. We only have 2 couples walking down the aisle this season. That's how awful this season has been. And what is Netflix going to do? Because we have, what, 3 episodes next week and then a finale? How are they going to milk 2 couples for 3 episodes? I want to end this video with a thought, an opinion, and I would love to know what you guys think in the comments down below. See if you agree with me or you disagree. But I think like the whole point of Love is Blind, it's falling in love with someone by who they are and not seeing them. But I think that like JP and Irina proved that love is not really blind. You need the physical attraction. You can make a strong connection, you can have things in common, you can become best friends in the pods, but when you see them and you're not attracted to them, it's not going to work out. And you can say Lauren and Cameron never saw each other, Tiffany and Brett never saw each other, but when they did see each other, they were attracted to each other. If you watch Tiffany and Brett in their honeymoon phase in Mexico, yeah, he was like grabbing her ass, she was on top of him, that was a connection. But if you watch Irina and Zach, Irina was not physically attracted to Zach, and Zach was like a great guy. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and when you meet someone and you're not attracted to them, it's not going to work out. So what do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you think love is blind? Or no, you need the physical attraction? If you like this video, I would love for you to give a thumbs up, share this video, and then subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next week.